Folks, we're going to go over 2 entries to the Omoplata today. I love the Omoplata both as a sweep and a submission, but I've been using it a lot more as a submission lately. And one of the main problems that we have is when people posture to get out of the Omoplata. So we're going to show you a couple ways to get to the Omoplata and then how to address it and make sure you finish it instead of just giving up the sweep. So in terms of setting up the Omoplata, I'm going to show 2 ways to get in there. The most basic thing that I want y'all to understand is that this is actually a binary situation where Shayla can either have her elbows caging my hips or she can have her elbows inside my hips. If she can have her elbows inside my hips, it's very difficult for me to Omoplata, but then that sets up other things like triangles, for example. If she does cage my hips, then it's much easier to set up the Omoplata. That's just one thing to watch. I always know that the Omoplata is there if I can turn her palm toward the ceiling. I usually do this, and I'll show you 2 ways to set this up because I typically play a lot of sleeve grips, which is part of why why I set up the Omoplata a lot. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to set up the Omoplata from the triangle position. What we're going to do, because I know that a lot of folks get to the triangle, have a difficult time, and maybe should switch off to the Omoplata. Let's say, for example, I get 2 sleeve grips, and this is the first thing we're going to drill. Get 2 sleeve grips, do the classic push-pull triangle. I'm going to push, I'm going to pull, I'm going to push, I'm going to pull, and finally, I push and I shoot the triangle. But Shayla's smart, she knows Jiu-Jitsu. What's she going to do? She's going to posture up, right? Now, it's extremely difficult for me to finish the triangle, right? Can I do it? Yeah, but part of what I love about Omoplata is it fits really well with the armbar and the triangle, and so that we can flow back and forth between those 3 submissions. So, I want you to drill getting this Omoplata 2 ways. We can either keep the sleeve and shove and see how her palm turns to the ceiling, or what I prefer to do, because this works with gi and no gi, give up the sleeve grip, make a wedge, and swim inside like that. Now, to get the Omoplata, I'm going to pinch my knee down, like you can't really see, but what I'm doing is I'm hitting her in the armpit with my knee as my knee pinches down, and now if Shayla tries to posture up, it's very difficult. From here, I'm going to extend my body out like I'm going to look to Edwin. If I'm very flexible, I can of course do this, but I don't want you to be able to do this only if you're flexible. And so instead of having my body curled like I'm looking at John, I'm going to go look at Frank. Now it's very easy to put my foot in front. From here, I put 2 feet on the mat, maintaining my heaviness, breaking Shayla's posture. Now I used to, and a lot of people will teach you, sit up, block the hip. This is certainly not wrong. It's what I did for many years, and it's useful and successful. It stops them rolling. But what I prefer to do now is my right hand either comes to the sleeve or to the elbow, and my left hand comes to the pants. Like I just roll the pants strip. The reason for this is I'm primarily trying to control the position while I sit up and solidify it. And now if Shayla decides she wants to roll, it's very difficult because I have her pants. If Shayla decides she wants to step over my head, which is another escape, it's very difficult for her. So I control at either the sleeve or the elbow, and I control at the pants. From here I can sit up, get to the classic Omoplata position, which is like pigeon pose. To finish, all I'm going to do is whisper in her near side ear, which means I gently lean down and rock my hips forward, and she taps. This is best case scenario. One more time. Shayla's in my guard. I get 2 sleeve grips. I'm going to push and pull, shoot the triangle. Shayla's like, Jeff, I don't want you to triangle me. I'm like, I'd really like to, but now I'm lazy. I may go, and I would rather transition to something that is more conducive to the posture you actually have. I swim under. Notice how, once again, as I swim under, her palm turns to the ceiling. From here, I bring my knees toward the mat, extend my body, bring my leg in front of her face. I can sit up and grab the hip. I can grab the belt. A lot of things you can do here. What I prefer, and I'd like you to try this, is go to the sleeve and to the cuff of the pants. From here I sit up, chopping down with my leg to keep her posture broken. And another thing, you can finish here. You can see Shayla's basically ready to tap. I can come to pigeon pose. If you want to flatten her out, the way you do that is you post on the mat and you hip away from her, which makes that finish that much easier. Any questions, guys?
So that pants grip kind of eliminates the race.
Yeah.
Having to like sit up and they're trying to roll.
Exactly. Like I think of the omoplata as a position. This is something Bernardo Faria does, which is where I learned it. Because that's exactly right. It's a race where like if they can roll or if they can step over your head, you lose the position. You might even end up on bottom underside. Forget that noise. I'm old and slow and lazy. So yeah, that's what the pants grip does. We'll deal with the remainder of the class, like what to do. Okay, we messed up and she did roll. Now what do we do? But for now, let's just secure the position. Would you like to see it on somebody? All right, Brad. It's a good example. Also, one of the things that we'll deal with too is they can posture when they're in the omoplata position as well, and so we'll deal with how to address that. So Brad's in my guard. I'm like, Brad, I'd like to triangle you. Brad's like, Jeff, I'd prefer not to. I'm like, okay. So I can just shove, depending on where his hand is. As long as his palm is toward the ceiling, we're fine. What works better for me, especially because it works no-gi as well, so the back of my hand comes under his forearm. I swim like that to come to his elbow. Now, again, flexible, we can do this. If we're not flexible, we just extend our body. Our knees point to the mat. It's very easy to bring my left foot in front. I come to either the elbow and the pants, or the sleeve and the pants. Sit up. Now, again, so if Brad tries to step over my head, it's very easy for me to stop it. This is. I started doing this for 2 reasons: Bernardo Faria and Tung Vu. Everybody who's rolled his tongue understands what I'm talking about. Make sense? All right, y'all. Let's drill this one. 1, 2, 3.